Welcome to the presentation. My name is Ganga Prasad Dasyal, and I'm a PhD candidate. I'm in my last year of my PhD, pursuing from Dakota State University here in Madison, South Dakota. The topic, my research area includes the medical informatics, including especially the machine learning and the deep learning tools. This research paper would be one of my probable dissertation topic because technically I'm ABD, and this is my last year where I'll be doing my dissertation defense. And this paper will be the paper where I'll be proposing my conceptual framework. The topic of the research is a systematic literature review on natural language processing for knowledge management in healthcare. And I would like to thank all the panelists, the committee for the conference for providing me the opportunity to present my research here in the platform. So to start with my presentation, I would like to give you the overview of my research through my abstract, which is like the driven by the visions of data science. Recent years have seen a paradigm shift in natural language processing. Natural language has set milestones in text processing and proved to be the preferred choice for researchers in healthcare domain. The objective of my paper is to identify the potentials of NLP, especially how NLP is used to support the knowledge management process in healthcare domain. Data is very critical and it's trusted component in improving the healthcare outcomes. So all through the research, data would be one of the important points which we'll be keep talking about. This paper provides a comprehensive survey of the state-of-the-art NLP research with a particular focus on how knowledge is created, captured, shared, and applied in the healthcare domain. This process is basically the knowledge management process being defined by many of the authors, the prominent authors in the research field. Two of our findings, the first one suggests that the techniques or the technologies of natural language processing, those supporting the knowledge management extractions and knowledge capture process in healthcare, because this is our primary focus area, which we will discuss a little bit in our research framework area. Second, we will be proposing a conceptual framework for the knowledge extraction process through the NLP. And finally, we'll discuss a set of issues, challenges, and the proposed future research areas. So moving on to further the introduction section. The use of natural language processing has grown in last few years, where it is preferred along with other techniques, such as visualization for managing a large amount of data. Natural language processing in healthcare is applied to various tasks, such as identification of clinical relationships, patient records, disease identification, disease classification, and disease prediction. So each one of this is a particular area where the users or the researchers have been researching very minutely, very deeply, and many researchers have been going on in each field. For example, the disease classification or the disease prediction. Researchers have been trying to predict the disease in advance, such like the advanced level of dementia and the rheumatitis. These all are based on the diagnosis chart or the patient healthcare reports. Considering the staggering amount of unstructured data that are generated every day, from medical records to social media, NLP is critical to fully analyze text and speech data efficiently. It satisfies the need of syntactic and semantic understanding of the languages. It helps us resolve ambiguity in the language and adds useful numeric structure to the data for many downstream applications, such as speech recognition and text analysis. These are just the two parts which I've mentioned, but there are many other things which NLP is going through into, like IVR. And if we talk about the speech recognition, Alexa and Xbox is one of the famous examples, which we'll discuss in our coming up slides. The enormous potential of NLP makes it very attractive. Organizations in different industries are embracing the technology in numerous ways. Some are applying it to the traditional use cases, such as the fraud and risk analysis, analyzing customer behavior. Certainly, this is not our research area here in this research, but lots and lots of research have been going on in this particular field, where they're trying to understand the customer behavior and the risk analysis through the natural language processing. Others are using them to prevent maintenance and other things. Still, others are building interactive chatbots and application that provides intelligence. This is one of the area which is also been applied into the medical informatics. If you look for the chatbots, nowadays many of the healthcare providers and the the hospitals, they are having their own chatbots where you can interact with them. So for example, being living into this area, I'm using Avera as one of my healthcare providers. They had an automatic chatbot where if you're feeling anything about your body, you find any symptoms, for example, for the COVID, you go ahead and talk to the chatbot in order to diagnose the preliminary diagnosis of your problem. And then based on your details you feed into the chatbot, it will define whether this should be escalated into the management or to the clinical support. And then sooner they will in contact with you. Otherwise, the chatbot will guide you through the proper steps to take care of your the initial level of sickness. With its wide and growing up usage, NLP can also help organizations to improve the operational efficiency and to better understand the behavior and sharpen the competitive advantages. So through the implementation of natural language processing into the organization, we can not only improve the operational efficiency, but we could have natural language processing as a competitive advantage which is not available with other organization, because nowadays technology is something which is an edge over the other companies. And if you look, most of the big tech companies, they are using the state-of-the-art technologies, the latest modifications, so that they should be ahead of the rest of the other uh, organizations. Now, the natural language processing tools are used for the prediction of disease symptoms, behavior traits, and studies have suggested that NLP can be utilized for the prediction of suicide behavior by analyzing the clinical text notes. This is what we were discussing in the last section, where the physician notes or clinical notes are one of the most important things to be researched upon. And studies have suggested that the clinical notes, which are the handwritten notes, which are the parts of electronic records, can be of very crucial research area for the medical informatics, because most of the researchers have focused on the already structured electronic health records or maybe the semi-structured health records. But the handwritten notes or the nurse note or the physician notes are the one which needs to be emphasized upon, which needs to be studied upon, so that the proper knowledge can be gained from that. Electronic health record contain much information, useful information regarding the history of the patients, like diagnosis, its treatment, prescription, the healthcare status of the patient, etc. But those are in the form of text. Mostly it's unstructured, sometimes it's semi-structured or maybe structured as well. But that needs the analyzing of the text, and it's very difficult and becomes more tedious in case of raw text, which is highly unstructured, because according to the research, medical data is in tremendous amount, availability of the medical data is in tremendous amount, but most of the medical data is in unstructured form. So we have to convert it into the structured form before extracting out any of the information or knowledge out of it. So to give you an example, information extraction from the data, as up to 18% of the patient safety errors could have been reduced if the proper information is available at the time of decision making. This is the research done by the Kabler and Bates in 2007. So this figure might have increased or decreased, but it's pretty much an old figure. But we can see from this figure that 18% of the error is a huge amount, where we are talking about the patient safety or the diagnosis. So natural language processing has a huge area of research to be done in the field of health informatics. Looking at the knowledge base of healthcare domain, the primary source of the data acquisition, the knowledge database exists in various forms, such as the electronic health records, is one of the major knowledge management database sources, which incorporate the patient information, including the visits, diagnosis and treatment, etc., lab reports, etc. On the other part, the advancement in the electronic health record, data management and the amalgamation of these data sources with natural language processing is facilitating the medical informatics research. So the data sources can further be divided into two major availability. First one is the open source, which is the freely available data, which most of the researchers like me used in their researches. Second one is the private source, which is very difficult to access, and those are being kept with the specific institutions such as hospitals or the national government data agencies such as the National Health and Nutrition Examination Surveys, the US Department of Agriculture data, these kind of organizations where they have their own set of research activities going on, which basically is a private source. So, but on the other hand, it is much difficult to access these data because they require either a permission or a collaboration to access these data. Um, that can be in the form of information portal or a patient information system from a private hospital database. The creation of such knowledge management data sources flourish the common platform under which the data resides in tacit form and which can be converted into the explicit form. Last but not the least, if we talk about the NLP tools, those are used for extracting the data from the database, such as the electronic medical records and clinical note documents. Information extraction is very important in terms of obtaining the complete information from the raw data. And extracting information through the manually annotated document is used for identifying the phenotypic information related to the diseases, such as rheumatitis or inflammatory bowel disease, and those kind of diseases. Now, knowledge extraction from the large set of documents such as ESR requires certain extraction tools that are capable of identifying the relationship between the text and extract the important information in form of features or high-level understanding. For example, extracting a particular medical terminology, such as the drug reaction from the whole EHR text can be done by using some of the NLP tools. So if you want to extract some topic or some categories, that can be done specifically with the NLP tools, which will be very hard if we do from the human resources. Studies have suggested some hybrid model algorithms which are capable of detecting the discrepancy in the medication. Some of the studies have suggested an algorithm comprising of machine learning and natural learning and natural language processing as a hybrid collaboration to provide accurate detection based on the gold standard. Gold standards are the set laws and rules, which we will discuss in coming up slides as well. ICDs, about the ICDs and gold standards. The accuracy shown by the model in entity detection and other disease detection is very overwhelming. They are above 90%, which is a very promising research and can be further taken up to increase the amount of accuracy so that it can commercially be implemented into the medical systems. If we talk about the discharge summaries or the sources of data that needs to be analyzed in order to perform some of the post-discharge analysis, that has also been taken care by the complex natural language processing models, where based on that they were trying to predict sometimes the readmission or the satisfaction from the services of the hospital, and based on the diagnosis provided, the chances of getting the patient again admitted into the same hospital. Those kind of things have been taken care by the natural language processing as well. So some of the tools or the algorithms used will be discussed in coming up slides, like the universal medical language system and the hybrid medical language systems, the natural language processing tools for extracting the sources for the database. Moving further to the agenda of our research, if you look, the knowledge gained in the domain should also be assessed in terms of quality, knowledge base created, as this is one of the major challenges faced by the knowledge management systems. So through this we are trying to say is extracting the knowledge is not enough, but we have to keep an eye on the data what we're extracting, the quality of the data what we're extracting. For example, few studies have tried to address this challenge, and they try to assess the quality of psychotherapy notes. These are the clinical notes. And the implication of research was focused on the post-treatment stress syndrome, that is PTSD. The result shows that around half of the text note have some kind of error, which were wrongly posted, maybe wrongly posted in the code of the medicine or the diagnosis or the patient characteristics. So these kind of human errors can be checked upon, and the quality of the text notes can be increased with the usage of the secondary decision support system, which is our framework, the natural language processing framework. If we talk about the focus it enables on, so if we talk about the types of NLP, there are two main types. The first is the rule-based natural language processing. Second is the statistical natural language processing. If we talk about the rule-based natural language processing, this is more of the previous natural language processing, where the researchers were trying to conduct based on some rules. So if we talk about in rule-based, humans manually craft the grammar rule based on the linguistic structures that imitate the human way of building the grammar structure. So this type of researches, you already provide some features to the data. And whereas in statistical NLP, it relies on statistical method and model to infer the patterns in the natural language. So you don't have to provide much of the data feeding or the training to the data in terms of the grammar structure and those kind of things. Statistical NLP heavily uses the machine learning models for developing and deriving the insights from the human languages. In fact, natural language processing algorithms nowadays are typically based on machine learning and deep learning. Deep learning enables the NLP to automatically learn the grammar rules by analyzing the set of examples. So for example, if we are learning a large corpus like a book or a collection of sentences or a huge amount of the text data or the medical records, we don't need to set them manually, or any human intervention is not required. The machine will itself create some features and extract the tokens from it, and making a statistical inference out of it. So machine learning based or deep learning based NLP can significantly speed up the development of capabilities of NLP system. If we talk about the NLP processing, NLP can be used to process language in both voice and text format, that is the spoken and written language. For example, the voice can be in the form of the machine learning enabled applications such as Apple Series, Google's voice recognition, Xbox, Skype, those kind of things, where they took our voice input and work as a command. These voice NLP systems are very different are different from the traditional systems because they are much more interactive. If you look about the IVRs, so nowadays we have the IVRs where we talk to a phone, and based on our conversation, the IVR would be capable enough of handling and redirecting us to the different platforms or the different options. And if you look about the interactive voice-driven telephone systems, which involves the automatic speech recognition, it uses the syntactic and semantic analysis of the sentences. So rather than just based upon our languages, they use the syntactic and semantic analysis as well. They can map the course of possible coherent conversations on a fixed topic and lay out a network of guideposts where they can prompt us the different options. As a result, they can identify the arbitrary sentences from the continuous speech input as NLP does. Finally, looking at the stakeholders of our research, and there can be many, but to name a few would be the clinicians, patients, administrators, the higher management, and the researchers. So if you look about the clinicians and the patients, researchers done by the researchers shown some breakthrough results. So for example, if we look for the clinicians, we have seen that the ICD codes or the gold standard codes being not correctly coded into the diagnosis chart or the system, which can be corrected through the natural language processing enabled models, can improve the quality of the healthcare, electronic healthcare systems. Looking at the patient sides, patient can be much more rely upon the services provided by the hospitals, because those are much more based upon the automated systems, which can perform with high accuracy and without any errors. Looking at the administrators, the major area where the administrator look is upon the improving the efficiency of the process, which we discussed already, how the process can be improved efficiently. Second is the revenue model or the profit generation. So they can look into the readmission of the patients or increasing the customer satisfaction, how we can increase the customer satisfaction, what services can be included in order to have more revenues. These are some of the points which administrator can take, higher management and administrator can take care of. And finally, researchers would be majorly focused upon the open source data, which they were trying to address the research issues and the gaps. Moving further, I want to explain you the research framework. So if you look the knowledge hierarchy or the hierarchy of the knowledge, data is the lowest form. It's in the raw form where we cannot infer any of the information out of it. So if we imply some of the tools, we can get some information out of it. And when these information are being accrued time to time, can generate a pattern, can generate some visible knowledge, and that's how we end up in getting the knowledge from the data. So natural language processing is very helpful in generating the knowledge from the raw data, the unstructured data from the healthcare domain, and these three are all interlinked. So, for example, if you look up here, the natural language processing generates the information from the healthcare domain, uh, ends up in the knowledge management format, and then again provided to the healthcare. For example, if you look and improve the quality of the electronic health records through natural language processing, we created that 18% of the error is what the error percentage we are getting from the clinical notes or clinical text, which can further be improved again into the healthcare, and then can reduce the number of percentage, and the cycle goes on. With that, I'll be explaining and proposing my research methodology or the framework. Um, the framework consists of three layers here: the knowledge management layer, the knowledge management tools layer, and its application, followed by the four different steps. So I'll explain you layer by layer and step by step. If you look at the first knowledge management process layer, we have four major steps. That is the knowledge creation or discovery, extraction and capture, sharing, and application. If you look at the tools that are being required in order to continue the process, the creation or the discovery happens here when the hospital database is being created. So there is a slight difference between the creation and the discovery. If we talk about the discovery, we are talking about the thing which is being very novel and never been introduced before. Whereas the creation is such where it has been discovered before, but is being rephrased again and provided into a new form. So for example, every hospital has electronic health records. So for every hospital, a new creation of electronic health record would be there, but the discovery has been done much time before. So once the knowledge has been discovered, the source of the knowledge has been discovered, we need the tools to extract and capture the knowledge. In order to extract and capture the knowledge, we need some tools, and we will be using natural language processing tools as the tools for extracting the knowledge. So the second process is the process which will be focusing upon our research. Once the tool is being identified, we can implement the application. The application of NLP tools can be in form of the tokenization, lemmatization, stemming, categorization, those kind of things where we can extract and the pattern in form of the knowledge. The next one would be the knowledge sharing, where you can share your knowledge. The platform can be the open platform such as ours, research seminars, journals, and conference publications, where we can publish our research and let the people know about the current findings. The application would be to the prediction and the classification of diseases, or finding an entity relationship between two different diseases, diagnosis and prognosis, not to mention the prevalence of the disease as well. So the second process will be the process we'll be focused upon, and in the future research area, we'll try to implement our model in order to gain the knowledge from the database, from the medical database. For conducting the systematic literature review, we followed the Prisma chart. Prisma chart is being explained in the research by Liberati et al., where they have step-by-step explanation for the chart. For considering the database, we query the Abyssco database, which is one of the largest database, including the major open access journals such as the BMC, PLOS ONE, IEEE, and those kind of open access journals. In order to filter the articles, we have 5 different steps: identification, screening, eligibility, inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria, and finally the coding. So in the first step, we end up in around 1141 articles, and with the further screening and filtration, we finally end up in 61 articles for the final coding. In the coding section, we specifically look about the natural language processing technologies being used in order to either predict or classify the diseases. Looking at our findings, the major findings, the first one is the medical standard codes. We look many of the medical standard codes. The first one is the International Classification of Disease, that is ICD. The current version or the latest version going on for the ICD is 10. This is kind of like a standard platform where they have set defined rules for the codes, which we known as the gold standards as well. Studies related to the information extraction from the EHR had been done in past, where authors attempted to assess the role of natural language processing systems for extracting the information in form of the phenotypic data, the clinical text data, or the physician's note. The process is manual as it requires to create reference standards and manual annotations from clinical text notes. Another study where the author attempted to embrace the medical knowledge as the key to clinical application is identified. Study shows that medical knowledge is updated with new advancement as the time progresses, and therefore much of the knowledge is tagged down in the medical literature. So in order to get that medical knowledge, as we know, medical knowledge is evidence-based and needs empirical literature to capture the information and extract the knowledge out of the medical literature. Our tool would be very helpful and essential to embrace the staked down medical literature or the medical domain data. But there is difficulties, limitations in order to attain that because these set of standard codes are very complex and very, very long. In order to understand and remember by a human brain, it's very difficult. For example, if you look up the first example, the M80.19p, which talks about the age-related osteoporosis. On the other hand, the bottom one, M80.19s, again talks about the same thing, that is the age-related osteoporosis, but it talks about the stula, whereas the first one talks about the fracture or the malunion. So we have to be very precise and very accurate in order to have the codification of the diagnosis. And for some time, human, it becomes very difficult because they have to refer back again and again in order to match the codes, which can be taken care by the natural language processing. As a findings of our research, the major algorithm we encountered are some of to mention are the Unified Medical Language System Structures, UMLS. This is a large database source of the natural language processing, which is used to codify the medical database. So for example, if you have already an unstructured database, if you use the UMLS system, it can easily structure the database into the categories you wanted. So you don't have to pre-process the data manually. The machine can take care of that. Moving further, there are advanced models such as the general architecture for the text engineering, known as GATE, logistic regression, support vector machine, neural networks. Those are the models which are used as a hybrid or as a standalone model in combination to the natural language processing in order to extract the knowledge. Other findings also suggest that the usage of natural language processing can be done as a content categorization, where the text can be categorized into certain categories. For example, diseased or non-diseased and probable to be diseased, those kind of categorization, or can be bifurcated based on the diseases such as tuberculosis or cancer based on the ICD codes. Another major research being conducted in the field is the sentiment analysis. This sentiment analysis is done based on the social media platform, where they've used Facebook, Twitter, and the Instagram, such as these kind of social media tools. And based on the tweets, they try to get the sentiments of the users or the patients with respect to the services provided by the medical hospitals. So in the concluding remark, we would like to conclude that our systematic review provides a comprehensive overview of the knowledge management process, which includes knowledge extraction as a sub-process supported by the natural language processing system focused on the healthcare domain. We conclude that knowledge management systems plays a very important role in extraction of healthcare domain knowledge. The domain knowledge is further applied in the field as a knowledge systems for increasing the efficiency of the design model or the framework, which ultimately leads towards evaluating the domain challenges in serving a decision-making tool to overcome such challenges. Our review shows that clinical notes and patient records contain very useful information, rich in terms of the information, but highly unstructured, from which it requires an explicit process and tools to extract the knowledge out of them. Studies have suggested ways to extract the information, but has a limitation of ignoring the medical data language, that is the syntax and the semantics we talked about, which natural language processing can certainly take care of, due to which the key medical terms such as the tightness and the medical terms such as the fatigue or those kind of things cannot be traced easily, resulting in low accuracy. So applying the natural language processing tools or the models can overcome the challenges. But further researches is needed in terms of the model hypertuning, because most of the model are standalone models, either statistical or the rule-based one. But the coming future models are incorporating the hybrid model systems where they use the pipeline, most of them, and using the pipeline, you can have a pretty much good efficiency. So that would be one of the future research area where you can look for the hyperparameter tuning. Our future research would focus upon the physicians or the clinical notes through which we can assess the information and create some patterns. And from those patterns, we can certainly make some of the knowledge to the healthcare domain. So this will be our contribution to the IS Society as well. With that, thank you so much for providing me the time, and any questions will be highly appreciable. Thank you.